Hey, have you ever come home exhausted from work, stared at the fridge, and thought, what am I going to eat today? Or maybe you gave in to fast food because cooking feels time-consuming and healthy food sounds boring. If the hustle of daily life, balancing family, work, and health is challenging you, I've got the perfect solution. Today, I'm going to show you how to save time and eat well. 8 healthy and delicious dinners ready in just 1 hour. From amazing salads to flavorful bowls and tasty tacos, you'll transform your week with practical and nutritious meals. Stick with me until the end to find out how to leave cooking stress behind and feel healthier and more organized. Why is it so hard to eat healthy nowadays? Let's be honest. Between work, commitments, taking care of family, or just trying to have a moment for yourself, there's barely any time left to cook. Many of us end up falling into fast food, delivery pizzas, or overindulging on weekends, trips, and events. And to make matters worse, there's this idea that healthy food is bland, takes hours to prepare, and leaves the kitchen full of dishes. Who has time for that? Nobody, right? But hold on, that ends now. In this video, I'll teach you how to prepare 8 healthy, tasty, and practical dinners in just 1 hour. We'll use base ingredients, proteins, vegetables, and carbs that you'll combine into varied dishes like fresh salads, flavorful bowls, and even irresistible tacos. It's the perfect solution for anyone with a busy life who wants to eat well without stress. You'll save time, feel healthier, and enjoy every bite. Ready to transform your week? Let's do this. How do you start preparing 8 dinners in 1 hour? It's simpler than you think. First, grab a large pot, fill it with water, add a generous amount of salt, and set it to boil. We'll use this hot water to cook the vegetables quickly and efficiently. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 220 degrees Celsius or 425 Fahrenheit to cook our proteins. Later, we'll crank it up to 245 degrees Celsius or 475 Fahrenheit for the carbs. The magic here is combining wet heat from the water and dry heat from the oven to cook everything in record time. A golden tip: use baking sheets lined with parchment paper to avoid a pile of dishes at the end. Nobody wants to spend the night scrubbing pans, right? With this setup, you'll be ready to prepare base ingredients that will turn into 8 amazing dinners. Just get organized and start on the right foot. Don't worry if you've never done meal prep before. I'll guide you step by step. Let's get our hands dirty and make it happen. What proteins should you use and how do you prepare them? I chose 2 perfect options for cooking in bulk with ease. 1.5 kilos of boneless, skinless chicken breast and 1.5 kilos of Norwegian Atlantic salmon with skin. Why these? Because the hot oven does the heavy lifting, cooking everything at once, no hassle. Let's start with the chicken. Grab a baking sheet, line it with parchment paper to avoid a mess, and place the chicken breasts on it. Season the top with salt and black pepper to taste. No extra bowls, do it right on the sheet to save time and dishes. Pop it in the preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. The secret is the internal temperature. Use a thermometer and check if it's between 65 and 71 degrees Celsius, or 150 to 160 Fahrenheit. This ensures juicy, safe-to-eat chicken. Let it hit 65 degrees for at least 2 minutes for food safety. When it's done, transfer to storage containers and let it cool in the fridge without a lid to avoid steam and moisture. Now, the salmon. Take another baking sheet, line it with parchment paper, and place the salmon skin side down. Season the top with salt and black pepper. Don't worry about removing the skin now. It's super easy to peel off after it's cooked and cooled. Bake it to 120 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes until the internal temperature is between 54 and 60 degrees Celsius, or 130 to 140 Fahrenheit. That's the sweet spot for a soft, flavorful texture. Don't cook below 54 degrees, or it'll be mushy, but don't overdo it to avoid drying out. Once baked, let it cool, carefully remove the skin, and store in containers in the fridge, without a lid. These proteins are the versatile foundation of our 8 dinners. You'll see how they shine in salads, bowls, and tacos. Ready for the next step? Let's move on to the vegetables. What vegetables should you choose and how do you cook them quickly? For our 8 dinners, I picked a powerhouse lineup: 2 heads of broccoli, 450 grams of Brussels sprouts, 700 grams of thick-cut carrots, and 2 large bunches of kale. This is enough to provide about 2 cups per person per day, perfect for splitting across the dinners. The prep is simple and fast. Start by cutting everything into bite-sized pieces. No fancy technique needed, just cut into sizes you'd enjoy eating. An important tip, for the kale, slice very thinly near the stem, as those parts are fibrous and tough if not cut properly. Now, let's cook. Your salted water should already be boiling. Why water instead of roasting or sauteing? Because it's the fastest way to cook a large amount of vegetables at once. Roasting or sauteing in batches would take way longer, and we want everything done in 1 hour. First, toss the broccoli into the boiling water for 90 seconds. Taste a piece. It should be tender but still crisp, or on the side of undercooked, as they keep cooking a bit while cooling, and crisp is always better than mushy. Drain and transfer to containers lined with paper towels to absorb moisture. Place in the fridge to cool. Now, the carrots. Cook in boiling water for 3 to 4 minutes until tender but with a nice crunch. Taste to confirm, then drain on a rack to remove excess water and transfer to containers. Next, the kale. Plunge it into the water for 2 minutes until tender but still textured. Drain, place in containers with paper towels, and cool in the fridge. Lastly, the Brussels sprouts, which are a bit thicker. Cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Check for tenderness and crunch. Drain, and store in containers with paper towels. The paper towel is the secret to keeping vegetables from getting soggy and losing texture. All these veggies will shine in our dinners, bringing nutrition and flavor. We're doing great, and the clock is on our side. Let's move to the carbs. And the carbs, how do you prep them for the week? Carbs are essential for fueling our 8 dinners, and we'll do it in a simple, delicious way. We've got 3 options: medium grain rice, baby potatoes, and sweet potatoes. Start with the rice. Grab a rice cooker and combine 600 grams of medium grain rice, 800 grams of water, and a good amount of salt. Why medium grain? Because it holds up better over time than basmati or jasmine and reheats beautifully, perfect for meal prep. Press the white rice button and let it cook for about 25 minutes. When it's done, it'll be fluffy and gorgeous. Give it a stir to loosen the grains, transfer to a large container, and let it cool in the fridge without a lid to avoid moisture. Now, the baby potatoes. Take 700 grams of baby potatoes, wash well, and cut in half. Reuse the chicken baking sheet if you want, but swap the used parchment paper for a fresh one. Place the potatoes on the sheet, drizzle generously with olive oil, add a hefty pinch of salt, and mix well. Arrange them cut side down so they get crispy and golden. Preheat the oven to 245 degrees Celsius, or 475 Fahrenheit, and bake for 20 to 25 minutes until the bottoms are golden and crisp. When ready, transfer to containers lined with paper towels and cool in the fridge. Finally, the sweet potatoes. Take 2 medium sweet potatoes, peel the thick skin, and cut into bite-sized cubes. Use the salmon baking sheet, swap for fresh parchment paper, place the cubes on it, drizzle with olive oil, and add salt. Mix well to coat all the pieces and bake at 245 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. They'll be soft, toasted on the edges, and delicious. Transfer to containers with paper towels and cool in the fridge. These carbs are the perfect foundation to give energy and substance to your dinners. We're almost there, and it all still fits in 1 hour, ready for the flavor secret. How do you make these dinners tasty and never boring? The secret is in the sauces. They turn simple dishes into amazing dinners you'll want to eat every day. To save time, I use store-bought options, and I'll show you my favorites. First, gochujang sauce, inspired by Korean cuisine, brings a spicy, rich kick. Then, there's low-sugar teriyaki sauce, perfect for a sweet and salty flavor without overdoing it. For salads, I love a ginger and sesame dressing, like those from Primal Kitchen, which keeps everything fresh and appetizing. Store-bought pesto is great, with a basil flavor that pairs with almost anything. If it's thick, just mix in a bit of olive oil to loosen it up. Chili crisp is my wild card, always in the fridge, adding crunch and a spicy touch. And, of course, fresh salsa, perfect for tacos or to liven up any dish. These salsa leftovers are great if you've made tacos or fajitas recently. All these sauces are easy to find at the store and take your dinners to the next level, making them super tasty and far from monotonous. With these proteins, vegetables, carbs, and sauces, you have everything to create 8 varied, delicious dinners. Excited? Me too. Let's assemble these meals and see how it all comes together. How do you put together 8 healthy, delicious dinners? Now comes the fun part. Combining our base ingredients into 8 incredible dinners. I'll guide you step by step for each one, and you'll see how quick and tasty it is. Let's start with the Mediterranean salad. Grab a bowl and add a handful of arugula as the base. Add chopped roasted red peppers, a few pepper rings for a light kick, marinated olives for that salty flavor, crumbled sheep's milk feta for creaminess, and a bit of pickled red onions for a sharp contrast. Finish with 120 grams of cooked chicken breast, cut into pieces. For the dressing, it's super simple. Mix 1 tablespoon of whole grain mustard, a few tablespoons of slightly sweet balsamic vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Shake well for 25 seconds and drizzle over the salad. Done. A salad full of textures, savory flavors, and a touch of sweetness to balance it out. Second dinner, sushi-inspired salad. Start with arugula, add shredded raw cabbage. I use those store-bought coleslaw mixes, such a great tip. Then, add some of our blanched broccoli, chopped sushi ginger for a unique flavor, 120 grams of cooked salmon in flakes, avocado chunks for creaminess, and roasted seaweed, like furica, for that Japanese touch. Drizzle with store-bought ginger and sesame dressing. It's fresh, nutritious, and feels like sushi in salad form. Third dinner, chicken rice bowl. In a container, add a portion of cooked medium grain rice. Add 2 or 3 of our vegetables, like broccoli and carrots, and 120 to 170 grams of chicken, depending on your hunger. Heat in the microwave for 2 minutes. Top with fresh kimchi for a funky touch and drizzle with gochujang sauce. If you can't find gochujang, mix sriracha, honey, and sesame oil. Spicy, rich, and super satisfying. Fourth dinner, salmon rice bowl. Take the cooked rice, add 2 or 3 vegetables, like kale and carrots, and 120 to 170 grams of cooked salmon. Heat for 2 minutes in the microwave. Finish with store-bought teriyaki sauce and a touch of chili crisp. It's a spicy, slightly sweet, nutrient-packed dinner. Fifth dinner, classic chicken plate. Combine 170 grams of cooked chicken, 1½ cups of blanched broccoli, and 1½ cups of roasted baby potatoes in a container. Heat in the microwave until warm. Top with store-bought pesto. Add olive oil if it's thick. Simple, juicy, and delicious. Sixth dinner, classic salmon plate. Mix 120 to 170 grams of cooked salmon, 1½ cups of blanched kale, and 1½ cups of roasted sweet potatoes. Heat in the microwave and finish with pesto. The sweet potato pesto combo is amazing, light, and fresh. Seventh dinner, chicken taco. Heat corn tortillas until warm and soft. Add 60 grams of chopped cooked chicken, crumbled feta, tomatillo salsa or regular salsa, pickled jalapenos for a spicy kick, and lettuce or arugula for crunch. In 3 minutes, you've got a Chipotle-style taco, perfect for the night. Eighth dinner, fish taco. Heat corn tortillas and start with a quick guacamole. Mash 2 avocados with salt, lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, and chili flakes. Add 60 grams of flaked cooked salmon, a portion of coleslaw mix seasoned with salt, honey, lemon juice, and olive oil, and finish with tomato salsa or taco sauce. If you have them, toss on some pickled red onions, a fresh, tasty fish taco. These 8 dinners are easy, healthy, and bursting with flavor. You assemble them in minutes and have your week sorted. Why is it worth trying these 8 dinners? In just 1 hour, you prepare 8 healthy, delicious dinners that will save your week. Say goodbye to the stress of cooking every day, the temptation of fast food, and the idea that healthy food is boring. These dishes, from salads to tacos, bring nutrition, flavor, and practicality to your routine, even with the hustle of work, family, and life. Your health will thank you, and so will your taste buds. Drop in the comments, which of these 8 dinners are you trying first? The Mediterranean salad, the fish taco, let me know. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for more practical meal prep tips like these. Let's save time and eat well together. See you next time, folks.